It's getaway day for the Astros as they close out their four-game series with the home hot LA Angels. They'd love to get away with a win, and they'll put it in the capable hands of Colin McHugh as he goes up against likely all-star Garrett Richards. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby, Jeff Blum with you here this afternoon. It's a warm one and likely tough for the pitchers today, Colin McHugh and Garrett Richards. Colin McHugh has been up to the task, especially on the road this year, Jeff.
Yeah, he's really done a good job, 2-2 on that road, some good numbers. He's got 44 strikeouts on the road in 37 1/3 innings. We know what he can do with the strikeout. We've seen it quite a bit. Does a great job of pitching high in that strike zone with that elevated fastball, a couple extra miles an hour on that for him. But that's a key to beat these Angels right now. I just think is to elevate that fastball so he can set up that breaking ball. When you're changing the hitter's eye level like Colin McHugh can do and beat guys up with that 92-mile-an-hour fastball, that sets up well for a team that's swinging the bat extremely well like the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And on the other hand, you've got Garrett Richards putting up all-star numbers like you said. Ash doing a great job against Houston this year. He's 2-1 with a 2.70 ERA. He's given up 17 hits in 20 innings pitched. So on the plus side, the Houston Astros have beaten Garrett Richards.
Coming up, it's day baseball in sunny Southern California as the Astros try to avoid the sweep at the Big A. Head to Jack in the Box for the new Jalapeno Ranch or Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers at participating restaurants. And by AT&T U-verse TV. Find out what's possible with ATT. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world. From Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California, it's the site of Game 4 here in this four-game series. The Angels have taken the first three. Nice crowd starting to arrive here. Might be a little bit late arriving this afternoon, and it is sunny and hot, and we are feeling it for those sitting down in the sun because right here in the booth in the shade, we're sweating pretty good right now, and it'll be one of those days where you better be in shape and ready to go down on the field. The Angels are now taking the field. And they will send Garrett Richards to the mound, a guy who has as good a stuff as anybody we've seen around Major League Baseball this year in terms of starters. Great time to check in with Julia.
Hey, Ash. Yeah, speaking of people standing in the sun, it is warm down here on the field. Here in a second, though, we'll see Jason Castro as he is DHing today, not catching like Bo Porter wanted him to originally. This comes after a night where he caught that 7th inning that lasted 58 minutes. He caught 74 pitches between three different pitchers. So just very tough mentally and physically on a catcher's body. Ash, something you know a lot about.
Yeah, a little bit. And if he had caught 74 pitchers, we would have a record on our hands, no question about it. We feel for you, Julia. It's going to be hot for you down there. And we're watching some fireworks go off in center. Great fireworks shows the last couple of evenings following the ball games. And there were some during the ball games as well. Plummer, how are you feeling about this afternoon's contest in this kind of heat?
I'm feeling good. I'm glad to be up here in the booth, even though it is a little stagnant and moist, to say the least. But
stagnant, that's the temperature and not your company up here, I hope.
Yes.
Let's take a look now at that Astros lineup, brought to you by Jack in the Box. For Bo Porter's guys, top three in the order: Jose Altuve at second. The DH is Jason Castro, and in right field, George Springer. Middle three, John Singleton at first. At third base, Matt Dominguez. And getting a start in center is Alex Presley. And the bottom three back in there today at shortstop, Marwin Gonzalez. Doing the catching, Carlos Corporon. And in left field, it's Kike Hernandez.
On the mound for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, big right-hander Garrett Richards. You get a look and see what he's done in his last 6 starts. 5-0 record, 1.49 ERA. Low enough to pitch well with the offense doing what they're doing a great job. Fastball slider guy, throws extremely hard. He'll throw in the mid-90s, but he's also got that firm slider working down and into left-handed hitters. Has a great average against those left-handed hitters at $191.
Garrett Richards outstanding his last start, that at Chicago against the White Sox. 8 innings of 2-hit balls. So the Astros have got their hands full here this afternoon. Jose Altuve has had a little bit of a cold streak. He's 0 for his last 11. Ran into him at the hotel this morning, and he said, I've got to get me a hit. And it may be one of those days with the sun shining where he gets 3, 4, 5 hits on the day. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Still leading the league at 338, though that margin has slimmed down, just a 3-point edge now over second place Adrian Beltre. And the first pitch misses. 1-0 the count on Jose. Big Garrett Richards back to the plate. And Altuve after it. Counted a ball and a strike. 87 degrees. It feels much warmer than that. The humidity feels like it's considerably higher than you normally run into in Southern California. Infield, outfield, fairly straight up. Altuve gets jammed and loops one, but foul on the first base side. Center fielder Mike Trout playing a bit toward right center.
All up in the kitchen of Altuve. Yeah, it's unfair to talk about heat on a day like this here in Southern California when everybody back in Houston's dealing with 100 degrees humidity, but it's all relative.
Right-hand batters have hit just 200 against Garrett Richards, as this one is popped up easy at first base as Crone puts it away. 1 up, 1 down in the first inning.
Man, I could use one of those right now.
Yeah, you tried to get one a while ago, and
I did. Yeah,
came up a bit shy.
Well, I gave it my best effort. Radio guys got a little upset with me, but that youngster right there, already a veteran in the stands here in Anaheim.
You think you could go down and raid the youngster?
I think parents would probably do a good job of fighting me off.
I still got my money on you. Jason Castro stands in. He's hit safely in his last 3. Mentioned that the right-hand batters had hit just 200 against Garrett Richards this year. That's the good side of things. The left-hand batters have hit just 191.
I'd just say 98.
Tough to see the monitors here this afternoon.
That's not the temperature. That was the speed of pitch.
Castro hitting 227. That fastball's fouled back. Right in front, 0-2 is Garrett Richards. And we mentioned that Garrett Richards likely to be a member of the All-Star squad. That will be named later on this evening.
And that might be why. First in opponent batting average, slugging percentage way down. Those are really good numbers.
Allowing just less than 6.5 hits per 9 innings. Down on strikes, Jason Castro took just 3 pitches. Out number 2 here in the first inning. It brings up right fielder today, George Springer.
Our gun had him at 99. Good pitching like that, you're not going to need too much from your defense, but we'll check out who's playing behind Garrett Richards, Josh Hamilton, Mike Trout, Cole Calhoun around the outfield. Around the infield, you're going to see John McDonald back at third base for David Freese, Eric Ibar at short, Howie Kendrick, C.J. Crone on the right side of the infield, and Hank Connor doing the catching.
Springer takes a strike. George hitting .239 now, 17 bombs. Hit number 17 here in the series. Following today's game, the Astros head back to Texas. They'll take on the Texas Rangers in Arlington. And the count now at 0-2 on George Springer. Slugging percentage against Garrett Richards at .263. That is just phenomenal. On base percentage at .276. The only place he struggled this year, wild pitches, 15 of them.
Not sure if that's entirely his fault. He throws so hard with such late movement. Maybe some of those might be on the catchers. No offense.
Well, with what we saw last night with Hank Conger, who's back behind the dish today, I think you might be right. Good swing by Springer as he fouls it back.
Yeah, I think they were serving eggs on one of the gloves he used last night in the pregame meal.
I think that would be dangerous to the eggs. 46 ribbies for Springer to lead the club. Took an 0 for 4 last night with a couple of strikeouts. Fouls one right side. Good swings here by Springer with a couple of strikes on him. George is 2 for 10 here in the series. That home run came in game 2. George staying alive. So maybe one of those learning experience at bats for George Springer, facing a guy as tough as Garrett Richards.
It's not easy. I was looking at some of the velocities off of Garrett Richards. Fastball 96 miles an hour, slider 87 miles an hour.
1-2 the count. And Richards brings it. Half swing did he go through. They will not even bother appealing. 2-2 the count. It's Crone, Kendrick, Ibar, and McDonald around the infield. In the outfield, Trout, Calhoun, and Hamilton. Just the first inning. And the 2-2 slider got him. So Springer down on strikes, 2 strikeouts in the first. A 1-2-3 frame for Garrett Richards.
Check, Mike, check.
reporter talking things over with the home plate umpire today. That is Larry Vanover. And I can't imagine here in the first inning what Bo might be chatting about. You have any thoughts, Jeff?
I do not. They keep looking in the dugout. I'm not sure if they're looking for a player on the field because everybody's out there. Hopefully it's nothing major.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's Julia. She's got the idea.
Well, they're checking the phones for replay. Not sure if there was a problem or anything, but I overheard him telling Bo to check the phone. So maybe an issue there.
Oh, man. Julia on the spot.
There we go. Lineup for the Angels here this afternoon. It'll be Cole Calhoun in the top spot. He's in right. Center fielder Mike Trout and DH Albert Pujols follow. In the middle, Josh Hamilton in left. The shortstop is Eric Ibarn at second. Howie Kendrick in the bottom three in the order. C.J. Cron, the first baseman. Hank Conger behind the plate. And at third base once again, it's John McDonald.
On the mound for the Houston Astros, Colin McHugh. You can get a chance to look at his splits there at the bottom of the screen. 2 wins in each places, but those ERAs drastically different. Strikeouts up on the road. He's got 44. We talked about that earlier. Got a fastball, curveball, slider, occasional changeup.
And the first pitch in for a strike, and that's very important on Cole Calhoun and others in this Angels lineup who will just take and take until you get ahead and force them to swing the bats. Last night, late in the ball game, the Astros pitching unable to do that. And now 0-2 on Calhoun. So that's a strength of McHugh. Last start, he struggled in terms of throwing balls and now trying to get right back into the strike zone. The 0-2. Calhoun hitting .290 on his season. Has 8 homers and 21 ribbies. Colin McHugh 0-4 with a .445 Ernie over the last 5 starts. Breaking ball drilled on a hop and past Altuve. That's into right field. Leadoff single for Calhoun.
Let's hope that's not a sign of things to come. Pretty good at bat by Calhoun. Get a chance to look around Anaheim Stadium to see who's playing behind Colin McHugh this afternoon. I apologize. Out in the outfield, Kike Hernandez in left field. Presley in center. George Springer back in his normal position in right field. Across the infield, Domingo, Margot, Altuve, and Singleton, and Carlos Corporon picking up for Castro here during the day game after that rough night last night for Jason Castro.
Brings up Mike Trout, and talk about rough nights and improbable nights. Mike Trout last night had one of those while his teammates were swinging the bats. He made 2 of the outs in that 7th inning that went on forever for the Angels. They put 8 runs on the board in that frame. Last night 0 for 5, a couple of strikeouts for Trout.
He actually looked human last night.
Trout with 3 hits in the series. Just 3 for 13. Of course, one of those, a game-winning walk-off home run. That came in game 2. And he did it on an 0-2 pitch. McHugh, who is generally quick to the plate, misses outside. 2-0 the count.
It'll be interesting to watch the sequence between McHugh and Mike Trout. That game-winning home run was on a slider down. A couple of his home runs have been hit at the knees or below, but McHugh likes to work that fastball at the top end of the strike zone.
Now Trout steps out. This would be considered a double play opportunity. It would be the 58th behind Colin McHugh this year, and he's gotten just 2 double plays. Pitch is fouled off on the right side. There's that fastball up in the zone a bit.
Yeah, Mike Trout's swing is geared toward that lower third, so when that ball gets elevated, sometimes that barrel can drag a little bit because it doesn't have enough time to get to the baseball. But just a little bit.
Just a little bit is right.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you want to make mistakes.
Still so strong, though. He'll drive balls to right field. Calhoun does not go. The pitch up and in. So 3-1 the count now on Mike Trout. And waiting on deck, it's Albert Pujols. These Angels, a red-hot club at home. 29-14 while playing at Angel Stadium. Just 21-22 on the road. The Angels 3.5 games back of Oakland. Oakland A's now 21 games over the 500 mark. 3-1 pitch. Good swing. Pop to the seats on the right side.
Another elevated fastball. A little bit better pass at it from Mike Trout.
We'll see on the 3-2 if Cole Calhoun happens to be on the move, and we've mentioned that Mike Trout strikes out quite a bit. He is among the leaders in the American League. McHugh set. Calhoun goes. The pitch got him swinging. Throw down on the money, and they'll get the double play. Strike him out, throw him out. 2-4 on the caught stealing. And just like that, 2 outs. The base is empty for Albert Pujols.
Doesn't get too many traditional double plays, does Colin McHugh, but right here throws a good pitch. There's that elevated fastball. We kept peppering him up there in the zone. And why not take a chance with the player of the month in Mike Trout? Find a gap, you score a run. Swing and a miss. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Albert Pujols has been a hot hitter, and good to see him at the plate with nobody on. 1-0 the count as McHugh misses close. Shift on in the infield. 3 infielders on the left side, leaving only Singleton on the right side. 19 dingers, and he hit a bomb in last night's game. That pitch just a bit outside.
I think he was trying to hit the rally monkey. We've seen this a couple times from Colin McHugh. Wow. I don't understand.
He looks at his fingers as if betrayed.
Oh, he looked down at his Bud Norris.
Nice. See if we can send a transcript of that to Bud.
If he's watching the game, I'm sure I'll get a text here.
Albert Pujols with the 19 home runs, 55 ribbies. Hitting .265. That's hard to believe after watching him here in this series. 7 hits in the series.
Ooh.
Takes just inside on a pitch that appeared to be right there. Longtime umpire Larry Vanover calling balls and strikes around the infield. Paul Noward at first, Angel Hernandez at second, and down at third it's John Hirschbeck. You get an Albert Pujols at the plate, and it's tough to get close pitches called a strike. And now a full count. Colin McHugh will surprise you with his strikeout ability. He has struck out over 10 per 9 innings this year, striking out more in terms of the ratio than Garrett Richards. That one inside. It's a 2-out walk to Pujols, and it brings up the cleanup man, Josh Hamilton. Hamilton 0 for his last 6, but hitting .301 on the year. When healthy, he has been good, especially against left-hand pitching. Jose Altuve playing in shallow right. And a breaking ball in for the first pitch. Early in the season, the Astros were employing the full shift on Hamilton, and he hit a few balls through the left side. So now Marwin Gonzalez at shortstop, playing a bit on that left side of the bag at second.
It seemed like that series back in Houston, they were doing it with runners in scoring position too, consistently.
Just picking up ribbies. Little tapper foul on the first base side. It's 1-2 on Hamilton. Still that shortstop position completely vacated, but with 2 infielders on that side, unlikely that Hamilton would just try to lay balls that way. 1-2 pitch. Got him on the slow curveball. So Colin McHugh does what he's been doing, picks up a couple of strikeouts in the first inning. As the Angels leave a man, we're scoreless.
The Astros face off against the Boston Red Sox in a 3-game series July 11th to the 13th at Minute Maid Park. Don't miss Boston's only trip to Minute Maid Park this season. For tickets to the Red Sox series, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com.
Following that series with the Red Sox, All-Star break time. And the fans. It should be all about cold drinks here this afternoon.
Man, that looks like a good time.
You got some, is that cold water or just room temp, which would be rather warm?
Yeah, it is, but I'm waiting to get into the special sauce back here that Quiggs is.
Yeah, is he working on something?
Gotten going.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always hooks us up.
John Singleton leads off here in the second inning. He hooked up with a home run here in the series for Mom and the family. Garrett Richards all over the strike zone early. Picked up a couple of strikeouts in the first inning, getting Castro and Springer. Singleton taking his time here. John hitting just 174 now. As the big swing and a miss. Domingo Santana, following last night's game, sent back to AAA. And the Astros have recalled right-hand pitcher David Martinez. Ball and 2 strikes. Well, that is some kind of good fastball from Garrett Richards.
I wonder if David is here at the ballpark. Quick turnaround with his 12:35 game. I wonder if he's made it in, or we're going to have to wait to see him in Texas. You know, the bullpen could use a little bit of extra help.
He was in Oklahoma City and picks up a couple of hours coming this way, but still a quick turnaround. The 1-2 hit sharply but foul. And there's your move that took place again overnight.
I think that's a good move.
Yeah, Domingo Santana, he just got off to the rough start, and I think it starts to snowball at some point.
Yeah, and I don't mean that's a good move that Santana's getting sent out. I just think that you don't want to crush a kid's ego too early in his career. Only 21 years old, striking out at a record pace. You don't need to leave him up here and dig that hole any deeper than he already had.
11 strikeouts in 13 major league at bats. So, yeah, that's a pretty good pace.
And the Astros admitted that they knew he was a swing and miss type guy, but the potential is definitely there. He's a big kid. But when you come up here and you start facing some big league pitching, and those guys can spot fastballs and throw great breaking balls and really exploit some weaknesses, they're relentless.
The 2-2 got him looking. Third strikeout of the afternoon already for Garrett Richards. And I think one of the most surprising stats between the two pitchers today is that Garrett Richards is striking out under a man an inning.
And Colin McHugh
over that figure.
Over that. And if you just looked at their stuff on paper, you say Garrett Richards would be the guy, but Colin McHugh doing a great job with the stuff he has and setting up hitters and putting them away. But electric stuff from Garrett Richards.
And again, with Colin McHugh, 10.2 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's phenomenal. Here's a line shot right field coming on, and it drops in front of Calhoun. So Matt Dominguez has the first hit of the afternoon for Houston. Comes with 1 out in the second inning and brings up Alex Presley. Presley came on as a pinch hitter late last night and lined a single into left center field.
Under not so ideal conditions too. He'd been sitting around for a good 3.5 hours and then have to go up there for a courtesy AB. Gets greedy and gets his knock.
Alex first pitch swinging, grounds it. Nice stop by Pujols, or rather Crone. He'll go to the bag himself. He'll get out number 2. Moving safely into second is Matt Dominguez. A nice play at first for the second out.
Almost snuck it through that hole. C.J. Cron holding on the base runner there.
Dominguez in scoring position. Marwin Gonzalez getting a start at shortstop here this afternoon. And Marwin recently kind of being tabbed as the everyday shortstop. But then Kike Hernandez comes on the scene, gets a couple of starts at short. He played brilliantly defensively. And of course, he's been swinging the bat. So probably tough for Marwin to have to sit and watch.
Still in his last 7 games, hitting .389. I think you might see a couple of different lineups depending on right-handed, left-handed starters. Today with the right-hander, Marwin swinging the bat pretty well left-handed. In there at shortstop, Kike moves to left.
Marwin just 3 for 20 against Angels pitching.
You know, if Kike keeps it up, swinging that bat, playing out in left field in some of these different lineups, what do you do when Dexter Fowler comes back into the mix? Then you might see almost a little bit of a platoon at shortstop between Margot and Kike.
How would that platoon work where Kike just plays against lefties?
It's an option. I mean, unless he's absolutely raking, then you can move him around the infield. We saw him DH. Might be a possibility.
But even with the 0 for last night, Kike Hernandez hitting .400 at the start of play today. So, yeah, and both players deserving to be in there. It's a good problem.
Well, I think offensively, the way they're both swinging the bats, you got to put them in there.
Yep.
And if you can get them both in there at the same time, that should be a bonus to your lineup.
One and two the count on Marwin Gonzalez. The Astros trying to get on the board first here. Angels have taken the first 3 games. Got him swinging. Fastball just blown on by. 4th strikeout already for Garrett Richards. We played an inning and a half. We're scoreless in Anaheim.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one on this warm afternoon, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by, of course, the icy cold Miller Lights.
There you go.
Ooh.
Hey, Quiggs, can you go run for us?
Have you tried this stuff Quiggs gave us?
No, I haven't.
Pretty legit. You might have to charge top dollar on that tray. Get your icy cold drinks.
Those should do well here this afternoon. Colin McHugh getting into warm-up tosses as we speak. Carlos Corporon throws it on down to second base. Astros fans in attendance. We see him everywhere we go, and it's great to see him. This Angels club has been really good. Since June 6th, they lead the American League with a 19-8 record. They've won 12 of their last 15, and they've won 8 consecutive games here at home. So a tough assignment. Colin McHugh with great road numbers this year. Would love to continue that. Another surprising thing about Colin McHugh, though the numbers go up ERA-wise at home, the batting average against is still right around that 190 mark. So he's been fantastic in that regard. Eric Ibar at the plate, switch hitting shortstop, and he has been a pest here in the series. Overall hitting .278 as he lines one foul down the right side. 6 homers on the year. He's driven in 43. Had 3 hits, including a double in last night's game. Stole a couple of bags and drove in a run for good measure. Any way you can stay cool, just get it done. 2-1 pitch, and McHugh falls behind. He walked a man in the first inning. That was Albert Pujols. But for Colin McHugh, staying away from the walks didn't seem to be an issue in early starts. Comes with the breaking ball on the 3-1. It's one of the big differences you'll find as a hitter at the major league level. Guys that can throw any pitch, any count. McHugh shakes off a couple of signs, eventually steps off the rubber. Infield pulls around a bit to the right side. Curveball got him looking. Uncle Charlie shows up on the 3-2 count. Third strikeout for McHugh.
Shows you the confidence of Colin McHugh. Got him 3-1, slider down and in to swing and miss, and then comes back with the big slow hammer. Pretty much lulls him to sleep. Ibar hoping for the walk. That ball just came back right down the middle. Great pitch in a 3-2 count.
1 out here in the second inning. It brings up second baseman Howie Kendrick. He's hit in 5 straight as he takes a strike. As Angel hitters, if they don't feel you're going to throw strikes, they will take. Hot shot on a hop to short, knocked down by Marwin. Takes his time to get the out, though he throws low, dug out by Singleton. Out number 2 here in the second.
Howie Kendrick swinging the bat this series. That's a bullet up the middle. If you handcuff a big league shortstop, that means you hit the ball pretty well. Good job of Marwin staying with it.
And you talk about Howie Kendrick and how well he's been swinging the bat. 8 hits here in the series. And when he saw the Astros playing the shift on him, he just started hitting balls to right field one after another. C.J. Cron at the plate. He's the first baseman. He's been alternating with Albert Pujols at DH and first base.
Saw Feldman last night abuse him with breaking balls, and Colin McHugh starts him off with one.
Ball and a strike.
Slider right there.
Cron, a big guy, hitting .295. Plenty of power, 9 homers. Pops one down the right side. Long run for Springer. Can't get there. One hop up into the seats. And Cron has made his presence felt in the series. He has 5 hits, 11 at bats. In the process, pushing his batting average up 9 points.
He had one of the 3-run home runs in that ginormous inning last night.
7th inning, 55+ minutes. Angels put 8 runs on the board in that inning. It felt like maybe double that figure. Ground ball left side. Ranging to his left. Marwin Gonzalez, he'll make the play. And a 1-2-3 second inning. Colin McHugh and Garrett Richards rolling along here early in Anaheim.
Hey, and it's time for you to tweet your photos using hashtag CSNHFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. That's brought to you by AT&T. And while you're tweeting, today is a big day as the All-Star players will be announced later this afternoon. So it brings up our Twitter question for the day. Which Astro or Astros do you think will make the All-Star team? Again, that's announced later today, 6 p.m. Central. Bo Porter he's been making a big push for, of course, his second baseman, Jose Altuve, guys.
And well, he should. And Jose Altuve better be on that All-Star squad. I don't think there's any question there. Love to see Dallas Keuchel make it as well. And love to see George Springer in that home run derby. We start the third inning, scoreless game. Carlos Corporon gets the start behind the plate and takes the first offering, a breaking ball high. Corpy, now 30 years of age, does a whale of a job as that extra catcher. Has a ball and a strike. 4 strikeouts already for Garrett Richards. 3 strikeouts through 2 innings for Colin McHugh. Statistically coming in, we knew these guys will strike out their share of hitters. And they are right after it here on this hot afternoon. 1-2 on Corp.
I'm impressed early on with Garrett Richards being able to locate that fastball at 97, 98 miles an hour pretty consistently. Talked about those wild pitches, but here early on, doing a good job of dotting the inside and outside corners.
The 1-2, little chopper is foul.
Hey guys, with Kike on deck here, looking at both Corporon and Kike, these two really close friends. Corporon's saying some good things about his buddy Kike, talking about how well he plays the game and how hard he's playing the game now that he's been up. And not surprised by any of the great plays he's made. That's how Kike plays, Corby says.
Well, he's been good at shortstop. Made a great play in left field here in the series to start a double play. Very impressive start for Kike Hernandez. Close pitches outside. Garrett Richards thought he had one. Corpy's had his struggles on the road this year, hitting just 182. One of his 5 home runs coming away from Minute Maid Park. There's a liner, and just out of the reach of Ibar into left field. Carlos Corporon has a knock. Second hit for the Astros. Nobody out for Kike Hernandez.
Just good old-fashioned inside-out swing right there from Carlos Corporon. Big heater. Inside, just get off me. Placement's everything too. Ibar gave this one a pretty good run, just not far enough.
So Corpy aboard. Kike Hernandez, as we mentioned, hitting .400. And that's with the offer from last night. Garrett Richards from the stretch.
Yeah, you really haven't seen Kike uncomfortable offensively, defensively. No real panic while he's at the plate. It's in the right spots on defense.
Very light breeze here in Anaheim. 2-0 the count. Flags in left center field, just kind of moving around a bit. You want to keep some kind of breeze coming. Had very good crowds in the first 3 games, all night games. Here this afternoon, probably tough for the folks to come out and sit in this sun. A lot of the folks have moved back up underneath in the shade. 3-0 on Kike Hernandez.
Doesn't want to get anywhere near Kike.
Can't blame him.
Give him the green light.
Kike had an 0 for 3 last night in the 11-5 Angels victory. Did draw a walk. Has an on-base percentage of .471. Three and one now on Kike. Leadoff man Jose Altuve waiting on deck.
It's kind of annoying to watch Garrett Richards not even look like he's overexerting himself to throw in the high 90s.
It's just nice and easy. And we've said maybe the best stuff overall for a starter we've seen this year. And the walk, close pitch, and Garrett Richards kind of tilting his head, looking in, saying, where's that one?
I'll tell you where it is. You throw almost 100 miles an hour, we're not going to expand the zone for you.
So where does that mean it was?
It's off the plate by about 3/4 of an inch. The replay proved that.
Okay, I'm with you. First 2 men reach. Corporon with the base hit. Walk to Hernandez. And now Altuve at the plate. Pop to first in the first. On a base hit, Kike Hernandez is really going to have to watch in front of him, as that lead runner is Corpy. First pitch, a strike on Altuve. .40 pitches, trying to get out number 1 here in the 3rd inning is Garrett Richards. Angels have gotten 36 of their wins from their starting pitchers. That one just outside. So Richards is close, but not to the liking of home plate umpire Larry Vanover.
Yeah, the more I'm seeing some of these pitches, he's probably got a pretty good reason to question that corner. Pretty good pitch.
If you're Garrett Richards out here in this heat, you have to be thinking, what in the world's going on? 2-1 the count. Hank Conger is going to go out to the mound. Third baseman John McDonald drawing in on the third base side, and now coming in to clean up a little bit of that dirt on the fair side of the chalk. Did you ever think of fixing it up in that part of the field?
Never.
Seems a bit unusual.
Especially on a day like this. I'm not going to exert that much energy to go down there and clean up the baseline. I'm hoping one of those dirt clods knocks a bunt foul.
You're an honest man. 2-1 the count. And now 3-1. Astros trying to make something happen here in the 3rd. Mike Trout in center, shaded well toward right center. See if Altuve can get a pitch to his liking on the 3-1.
Good time to hit. Runners in scoring position, count in your favor. The unfortunate thing is you got to get it ready for about 98, 99.
Hits it sharply to third. McDonald steps on the bag, goes to second, and they'll get a double play, but that poor throw by John McDonald took away any shot of a triple play. And that was the ground ball right at the bag at third that will set up some triple plays.
Altuve runs well. I'm not sure if they would have been able to do it, but this ball was smoked, and you can see where John McDonald was playing. It was just a 2 steps to get over there to third base, and probably in all the excitement just spiked that one, but a good job by Howie Kendrick to corral it, make sure that's second out. But that would have been interesting to see if it was a good throw, if they had a shot at getting those 3.
Yeah, if you're going to ever get the opportunity, that's the kind of ball you want. And so 2 outs. And Altuve at first base. So that one ground ball changes the inning enormously. Jason Castro stands in. Strikeout victim in the first. It was a nice job by Kendrick to save that play. Talked last night about the great quick hands of John McDonald. Sometimes he'll try to be a little too quick and come up with a throw like this. Richards misses on the first offering.
Well, at third base, you're running to third base to step on it, obviously, and you're going away from second base. The key is to plant that right foot on the bag and make sure you get your momentum going back towards second base. But like you said, his hands are so quick. His hands don't really give his body a chance to get behind the throw.
I'm sure you've watched him during batting practice when he takes ground balls, just quick as can be.
I played with him in Arizona, so I had a chance to actually take ground balls with him, and trying to keep up with him there was no shot for me.
And I would probably say, for me, Omar Vizquel, the most impressive shortstop I've ever watched, maybe along with Ozzie Smith. But John McDonald can do the same things.
Yes, he can.
2-0. Jason Castro at the plate. George Springer waiting on deck. Big swing by Jason. It's 2-1. And never have I seen a guy who got a chance to start like John McDonald up in Toronto for about half a season take a crowd on by storm while hitting about .230. They just loved him, what he did. Firing to first is Richards.
He's a good dude.
Oh, he is. Wonderful fella. And I imagine he wants to stay in the game. He's 39 years of age now.
Fun guy to be around. A lot of knowledge. He's not one of those guys that goes in there and sits on the bench and just kind of watches the game go by. He's watching every little aspect.
2-1, line to left field. Coming on, Hamilton. He'll make the catch. That'll do it for Houston. A key double play grounded into by Altuve. Scoreless after 2.5.
M.D. Anderson making cancer history. It is July 6, 1983, the All-Star game at Comiskey Park. Fred Lynn hits the first grand slam in All-Star game history in a 13-3 AL win. Adley Hammaker giving up that bomb. There's quite a few California Angels on there. You saw Rod Carew giving him a high five. Some good teams in the early 80s for the California Angels at the time.
Well, when Fred Lynn came up with the Boston Red Sox along with Jim Rice, what a duo they were back in those days. Fred Lynn has also been involved in highlight reel plays at the wall defensively. Tremendous player. We're scoreless after 2.5. Hank Conger, the 8-hitter, leads it off. He'll be followed by John McDonald and Cole Calhoun. Colin McHugh has the first pitch hit on the ground, but right back up the middle. It's a base hit right through the shift on the right side. Conger has the leadoff single, hit number 2 for the Angels.
Yeah, standard ground ball, but sometimes when you're playing that shift, the anomaly sneaks through.
John McDonald comes to the plate. Not a big hitter, but he'll get his occasional big knock for the club. Conger leads from first, held on by Singleton. Turning to bunt is McDonald and takes a strike. Did a little managing in the minor leagues, and that was always one of my real frustrating things. You put on the bunt, the hitter turns to bunt, pulls the bat back and takes a strike. And now what do? Well, what McDonald does is he asks for timeout and tries to get something out of his eye. Right now is when a lot of managers might turn to the hit and run. Not a lot of speed at first with Conger.
Johnny Mac's a good guy to hit and run with, can put the bat on the ball. I like the idea of a hit and run better than a bunt.
McHugh lobs to first. I think there are some fallacies actually about the bunt. A lot of people have turned to saying that statistically it doesn't bear out to utilize the bunt, but I think there are some flaws in the determination about that.
Such as?
I'll get to that. Turning to bunt and dropping at first base side, McDonald. The tag is applied as first base home plate umpire says running out of the baseline is John McDonald, so the out recorded. Moving into second on the sacrifice bunt is Hank Conger, and now Mike Scioscia, the skipper of the Angels, coming out. He's going to check on things with the home plate umpire Larry Vanover.
I think this is a good one to challenge for Mike Scioscia. I didn't see Johnny McDonald getting out of the baseline at all. Pretty good bunt. Singleton charging in, trying to make that tag. And he can deviate a little bit. I mean, he didn't go pretty much. I mean, that angle maybe got a foot on the grass getting out of that runner's box going down the right side. But I'm glad you interpreted what Larry Vanover was motioning, because I'd never seen that before.
Well, there was a whole lot going on there, including maybe an order with the restaurant down the right field line. I'm not sure. I'll take one of those.
Yeah. I don't know if he was wafting or if he was actually motioning at something.
One out. Conger aboard at second. Leadoff man Cole Calhoun at the plate. Here's my thinking in terms of the bunts and how people have determined that you don't score as often when you bunt as when you don't bunt. And this is going to take a little while because it's been a long time since I've thought about it. But when you bunt, generally speaking, is when the 8 and 9 hitters might be at the plate. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. And you don't have your big guys coming to the plate right away. And so I don't think those ultimately are going to be your huge innings. Whereas when you don't bunt, it's usually with the bigger guys at the plate, and you have the chance for the bigger innings. And I think ultimately when you weigh the two sides out, you're going to have larger innings of scoring when you don't bunt. But to me, that's a factor of where you are in the batting order a lot of the time.
That's deep.
A little deeper than we needed to go right now. 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Scoreless ball game. Colin McHugh working to Cole Calhoun. Carlos Corporon keeps it right in front. 2 balls and a strike.
So here you go. Chances of scoring with 0 outs, runner on first, is 44%.
Okay.
While chances of scoring with 1 out, runner on second base, is 51%. Closer to 52.
Check out number 3 on that list. After reading number 1 as the pitch is fouled on the left side, 2-2 the count. Make numbers 1 and 3 jive together if that's
I'm not sure if we're reading the same thing.
Yeah, may not be. I had seen one of these the other day.
However, if you're looking to score multiple runs, run expectancy with 0 outs, runner on first is 847.
Yeah.
And with 1 out, runner on second base is 697.
Yeah. So make those jive. It's I don't understand the figures. 2-2, line to center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Cole Calhoun has his 2nd hit of the afternoon. Stopping at 3rd is Hank Conger. 1 out, runners at the corners for Mike Trout.
What a base running is Hank Conger doing out there?
That was awful.
You got to score easy on that. You bunt yourself into that situation, and Cole Calhoun gets a hanging breaking ball, hits a bullet up the middle. As a runner at second base, you got to peek around and see where those defenders are playing behind you.
Well, what defender would ever be in a place to catch this ball?
Well, I mean, with the shifts nowadays, we've seen somebody playing directly behind second base, but as a runner at second base, you got to scout those guys and see where the shortstop, the second baseman's at, so when you see if he hesitates.
Watch where this ball lands.
He freezes because he has no idea who's playing behind. But like you said, Ash, that ball was elevated and getting over the infield no matter where they were playing.
You could put 3 infielders around behind the bag at second, and they wouldn't have a shot at that. Mike Trout struck out into a double play in the 1st inning and now drilled by this pitch. And that's going to load him up for Albert Pujols. Not a desirable spot to be in.
That was interesting right there. Almost looked like Mike Trout turned into that pitch. But for whatever reason, not happy with McHugh throwing him up and in right there. There's not too many guys. That's up and in.
Well, we saw Colin McHugh miss very badly away on a right-hander.
Well, I'm always curious to watch the catcher's reaction after you hit a stud like Mike Trout, because I'm sure there's a lot of guys in that Angel dugout right now not too happy with what Colin McHugh just did. But Carlos Corporon alertly pops out from behind home plate and gets in between what could have been Trout and McHugh.
Can you see any logic to hitting Trout in this scenario to face Albert Pujols with the bases loaded?
I don't think so, and I don't think that's a spot where you would hit him. But considering where the pitch ended up, that's a little concerning.
1 out, bases loaded, double play depth in the infield. And again, Albert Pujols, a hot hitter. He has been tearing it up in the series. Drew a walk in the 1st inning. He's had 7 hits. A couple of home runs in the series to go with a double. And 5 RBIs and a chance to put the Angels on top here in the 3rd. Good breaking ball from McHugh. There is the occasional fastball from Colin McHugh that gets away in serious fashion, not just off the plate.
Well, we've seen him yank it into that left-handed batter's box, not to that right-handed side.
The 1-1. And that's pop foul back over us into the upper tank. And 1-2 the count.
McHugh got Trout in his first at bat with just throwing high heaters.
Usually, when a right-hand pitcher misses on a right-hand hitter and it just gets away from him, it will be in. It's on that arm side.
Yep.
But McHugh has, as you've said, missed on occasions really badly the other side. And now the 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, popped up back of the plate. Coming back Corporon and runs out of room. It's just off the screen. So Albert Pujols stays alive.
You see it leak out, but Corcoran set up maybe middle away, but that ball was going to catch a big chunk of Mike Trout. But considering, like we were talking about, the situation, that's probably the last thing you want to do is load up the bases for a guy like Albert Pujols.
Yeah, I can't logic that one at all. And now Brent Strom is going to come out to the mound. It's a 1-2 count. And you wonder on this hot afternoon, is this more about just catching a breather here for a moment? Trying to gear up and make the one big pitch you need?
Well, I wonder if he saw something in those breaking balls that maybe hanging a little bit, or maybe he wants to say something to him.
The Astros had a couple of runners aboard to start the top of this third inning. But then Jose Altuve grounded one sharply to third. John McDonald tried to start a triple play. They got a double play as it turned out. And then Castro lined out to end the frame.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was a pretty extensive conversation for Brent Strom to come all the way out there and talk to Colin McHugh with a 1-2 count in a bases loaded situation to Albert Pujols.
Pujols hitting .265. McHugh brings it. Little liner, that's into left field. Another base hit for Pujols. 1 run scores. Here comes a second to the plate. 2-0 Angels. 2-run single Pujols. Still 1 out here in the third.
Well, you talked about creating situations with that big part of your lineup coming up. We saw a couple pitches from Colin McHugh, the breaking ball maybe staying up, a couple of foul balls. This one, slider on the outer third. Just credit Albert Pujols for poking the bat out there. Great read by Cole Calhoun, being able to score on that soft line drive to left.
Yeah, that was the anti-Hank Conger base running school. Runners at first and second. What a great job by Pujols, who now has 7 RBIs in the series. 2-0 Halos. Hamilton hits one on the ground up the middle. Altuve gets to the bag. They can't turn the double play. And now the ball skips away from Singleton. And that's going to allow the Angels to score. Mike Trout coming all the way in from second base. It's 3-0 Angels. And you'll have to have an error on the throw from Altuve to account for this run.
Get the positioning right. Not too many double plays being turned behind Colin McHugh and all those opportunities. Here's one. But again, with that shift, you've got a guy in the right position to catch the ground ball. It's where you get in trouble is Altuve's not in position to turn that double play. He's got to catch that ball barehanded on a run because the flip has to come back to him and puts him in an awkward spot trying to complete that double play in a big situation.
Running on the pitch is Josh Hamilton. Eric Ibar at the plate, a strikeout victim in the second inning. So the Angels have put 3 on the board here in the third inning. And it all started with Hank Conger grounding one up the middle. Big swing, Albert Pujols.
And the Angels can't do anything wrong against the Astros in this series.
And they haven't done much wrong here at Angel Stadium here in recent weeks. A ball and a strike on Ibar. Angels trying to make it 9 consecutive home wins. And it's already an uphill battle for the Astros when you consider 3 runs down with Garrett Richards on the hill. Pitch is hammered down the right field side, but hooking foul to the seats.
Colin McHugh's got to get back on top of some of these breaking pitches and get them in that lower third of the zone, if not in the dirt when necessary.
Three runs, 4 hits for the Halos. No runs and 2 hits, an error now for the Astros. That error charged to Jose Altuve, and that permits a run to score. Josh Hamilton doesn't run a lot, but when he does run, he's been successful. 3 for 3 on the year. Ibar has a nice ability to lay off of pitches, works counts well, plays that steady, maybe not spectacular shortstop a lot of the time. The 2-2, grounded right side. Altuve to his left. He'll make the play. That'll do it for the Angels in the 3rd inning. But they put 3 big runs on the board, 1 unearned against Colin McHugh. It's 3-0 Halos.
The Astros 14-game flex plan puts you in charge. You get to pick the games and seat locations that work best for you. Looking for certain days of the week, all the giveaways, your favorite rivalries, or maybe a little of each? You can choose to purchase. Call 1-877-9-ASTROS, guys.
Thanks, Julia. George Springer leads off here in the 4th inning. The Astros now trailing 3-0. Said the Angels were seeking a 9th consecutive home win. It's actually 10. So the story gets even tougher now for the Astros. Springer struck out in the 1st. 1 of 4 on the afternoon, picked up by Garrett Richards.
Yeah, Garrett Richards, a tough task right now for the Astros to come back and try and beat up on the way he's been throwing the ball. He'll take full advantage of this 3-run lead.
Springer sees that batting average down to 238 as he takes the breaking ball for a strike.
And I'm thinking Garrett Richards' last start in Chicago was the first game of a doubleheader, gave up a home run to Abreu, 3-run blast, and proceeded to set down the next 23 out of 25 guys. So he can lock it down when he's upset.
And that's the kind of stuff he has. And the fastball has been lightning here this afternoon. 98 on that one. I don't know. Name somebody else who can go 97, 98 in the early innings and maintain it.
A Verlander in his prime.
Well, back in those days, yeah. Not sure he has that ability anymore. Slider got him. Springer down on strikes for the 2nd time this afternoon. First out here in the 4th.
I've seen Verlander in years past. He almost, man, that's a hammer. That's head to toe right there. We've seen Verlander get stronger in games. He'd start out 92, 93 and finish off games at 99, 100.
I saw the no-hitter that Verlander threw in Toronto against the Blue Jays. Just exactly what you're saying. 93 to 95, 96 in the early innings. Realized he had a no-hitter in the 7th, and he started going triple digits the last few innings. And just as easy as could be.
It's not fair.
Like he opened the tank and said, okay, come on out, rest of you guys. John Singleton struck out looking in the second. I wonder what Julia's doing now down in that heat.
I hope she's out of the heat. Cannot be fun down there, just sitting down, cooking.
Ball and a strike on John. Curious about your thoughts on that throw from Altuve, the attempt to get the double play. Singleton had a chance to either dig it out of the dirt or keep the throw there and prevent a run.
I think you're seeing that's a little bit of the growing pains you're going to see from the Houston Astros in some of the decision making. You got to give credit to guys trying to make that double play. You saw Kike a couple days ago making a big double play on a tough play. But it's not going to happen on a daily basis, and you got to recognize situations sometimes and understand and have that internal clock that says we've got no shot at getting this guy at first base. I need to knock it down, because if the ball gets a foot away from me, the guy at third, who's Mike Trout, is going to speed home.
Singleton caught looking for the second time on the afternoon. Back-to-back strikeouts, and 6 on the afternoon by Richards.
Might be a little low. But when you're throwing the ball as well as Garrett Richards and you get in rhythm with the home plate umpire Larry Vanover, you get some of those calls. But I think it would have been, looking back, obviously it's a lot easier. But I played with first baseman Jeff Bagwell being one of them, who had a great internal clock and idea of how the game would progress. He would come off the bag quite a bit, knock some of those balls down, and keep runners from scoring and giving yourself an extra chance.
And what it looked like is that Singleton kind of went in the picket mode as opposed to what you're talking about, just trying to make sure you stop the baseball.
Well, he's trying to make the play.
Right.
And if he does pick it, we're praising him. But, now he didn't, and now we have a chance to kind of critique him the other way.
Ball and a strike on Matt Dominguez. He lined a single into right field in the second.
It's all a part of growing up, though.
Dominguez hits it on the ground to short. To his right is Ibar to make the play. He'll get the out of 1, 2, 3, 4th inning. A couple of strikeouts. Garrett Richards enjoying life with a 3-0 lead. Schedule for the Astros brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Following today's game, it's on to Arlington, Texas. 3 with the Texas Rangers. Thursday's an off day as the club gets back home. The Boston Red Sox come in for 3. And then it's the All-Star break. The Astros will actually be traveling on that Thursday, heading to Chicago following the break.
There you get a look at the pitching matchups. Jared Cozart on that first night going up against Miles McCollis, I believe. Tuesday, Brad Peacock, Nick Martinez. And that final game before the All-Star break, another night game. It's going to be Dallas Keuchel going up against Yu Darvish, who is not going to miss an opportunity to pitch against the Astros.
He's had some pretty good success against Houston hitters. Colin McHugh set to work it here in the 4th inning. 1 unearned run. McHugh allowing a couple of earnings. All 3 runs for the Angels coming in the 3rd inning. Howie Kendrick leads off and has a 2-0 count. Colin McHugh starting to have a little bit of those moments we have seen in recent starts where he just loses command of the fastball.
Saw with Brad Peacock back in Minute Maid Park, but yeah, some of these pitches missing up and in.
Comes with the 2-0 slider, gets a swing and a miss.
Or he may be setting up that pitch right there. Who knows? Pitchers are a little squirrely sometimes.
Kind of a hanger in the process right there, but the 2-0 slider generally doesn't get hit a lot. McHugh back to the plate, goes curveball and gets the count even at 2-2. Jeff Blum will not be traveling with us to Arlington. What kind of plans you have?
I'm going to Lake Havasu.
Yeah. May the force be with you.
I'm going to be on a boat.
3-2 now the count.
I'm on a boat. I'll be enjoying it. It'll only be about 110 there.
Well, I'm already starting to feel bad for you.
You should. It's going to be agonizing. Some ice cold beverages to help offset that.
Water skiing?
It's going to be some water skiing. There's going to be my father-in-law dragging me and my kids on an inner tube behind his boat. I'll make sure I GoPro some of that and send it so you guys can have it for your feed for some of these games.
Want to make sure and get some of that.
Yep.
Howie Kendrick draws the leadoff walk. Brings up C.J. Cron. Second walk issued by Colin McHugh. He's also hit a man. Busted up Mike Trout in that 3-run third. Cron grounded out to shortstop in the 2nd inning. And Colin McHugh would love to get that same ground ball right here. Colin's got 1 double play on the afternoon. That a strike him out, throw him out double play in the 1st inning. Cole Calhoun led off the Angels first with a base hit. Mike Trout wound up striking out, and on that pitch, Calhoun on the move. And another pitch nowhere close. And now Brent Strom's going to come out to the mound once again. Nice job by Carlos Corporon. That looked like Corpy was anticipating the 3-foot outside fastball.
Well, we know it's in the repertoire. Corpy does too. Part of being a good catcher is anticipating, Ash.
I never had that part of my game. Not like that.
Well, because you could brag about the guys you were catching. Might have been a little bit different than some of the stuff Corpy's had to go out there and catch. You put down number 1, and Nolan Ryan pretty much put it on the spot, right?
You saying with guys like Nolan Ryan, J.R. Richard, Don Sutton, a little bit Mike Scott, Joe Negro.
Now you're just bragging again. Those are great names.
That's not bragging. That's just grabbing hold of a coattail and hanging on as tight as possible.
Well done.
The blister has been an issue for Colin McHugh. You think that might be flaring up again?
Well, if it is, then you'd see the trainer going out there and checking on it so they don't waste a visit to the mound.
Yeah, that's true. Very good point. It's just hard to figure. It wasn't until the blister showed up for Colin McHugh that he started having some of these missing issues.
That is true.
2-1 the count. Howie Kendrick aboard. Kendrick likes to run. He's stolen 10 bags, caught 4 times.
That was that game in Minnesota where that blister really came into play for Colin McHugh, where he walked 5 batters, threw 101 pitches in 4 innings.
Yep.
But Brent Strom's got his finger on the pulse of these guys, and if he sees anything quirky or something happening out there, he's going to rush out there and let them know.
Count evens at 2-2.
2 pitches ago, you see him wiping that With the middle finger possibly, kind of picking at it.
Yeah, that's the one that has the blister on it. Now, Colin has said he's got it worked out. He doesn't want to make excuses about it, but you have to believe that might be an issue once again. 2-2 pitch. Curveball got him. First strikeout since the second inning, fourth on the afternoon now for McHugh, out number one in the fourth.
Big hammer. C.J. Cron having some issues with that over the last couple days. That has been the equalizer for Astro pitching against C.J. Cron.
With one out, it brings up the 8-hitter, Hank Conger. Had a base hit to start the third inning. Came around and scored run number one for the Halos. Albert Pujols had a key two-run single in that inning. 7 ribbies in the series for Pujols. And now Colin McHugh starting to get his mind on first base. Conger at the plate hitting .239. Played in last night's game and went 0 for 3. He'll get himself a good rip from left side of the plate.
He doesn't get cheated too often.
Shift on in the infield. 3 infielders on the right side. We are in the wrong place.
Man, you ain't lying. You get that guy's number and send him up here.
A ball and a strike. And now 1-2.
Get a good breaking ball down and get Conger to roll it over. Get that double play, get out of this thing.
The Astros have hit the skids. They've lost 6 straight games. They're 36-53. And the breaking ball is low. 2-2. Meanwhile, the Angels go in the other direction. They've won 3 straight. They just keep on winning here at home. 9 consecutive. And they're 50-36 overall. And they are putting on a serious chase on the Oakland A's. Runner goes from first. The pitch is popped foul. So Mike Scioscia puts Howie Kendrick in motion. Leadoff walk to start the inning. And it's been a real grind now for McHugh. And again a foul ball left side. Here in Anaheim, Angel Stadium, Alan Ashby, Jeff Blum, and Julio Morales sweating somewhere down in the seats. It's a 3-0 Angels lead. They picked up all 3 runs in the third inning. Colin McHugh trying to battle and get his way out of this fourth. And now timeout called at the plate. Got a beach ball on the field to play out in right field.
Is that Dave again?
Could be.
He's got a pretty good gait towards this one. Looking to cut this off. See how the good toss. Attaboy Dave. That's him again. Oh, he's on it. Stays on those toes nicely.
He may not get up a whole lot on a basketball court, but I'll bet he can command some rebounds.
Well, he could probably clear you out down low.
2-2 pitch grounded back to the mound. McHugh tries to start the double play on to Marwin. They'll get the double play. 1-6-3. Second one turned by Houston on the afternoon, and that'll do it in the fourth inning. 3-0 Angels. Net is brought to you by TXU Energy. Get TXU Energy free nights, free electricity all year long. Now with even more free hours. 1-866-CALL TXU. We go to the fifth inning. Alex Presley will lead it off. Bo Porter out talking things over once again with Larry Vanover, and they had that conversation back in the first inning. Something to do with the phones and possible replay situations. What are we talking about?
I know he's talking. Well, we know he talked about the blister. Maybe he's telling him that his pitcher's having some issues, but I'm not sure if he's talking about what constitutes a visit or what doesn't. But obviously, in the past, we know that you got to bring that trainer out there and tell the umpire beforehand.
Yep. So Alex Presley leads it off, followed by Marwin Gonzalez and Carlos Corporon. Presley takes a strike. Garrett Richards has been as advertised, 6 strikeouts already. He has allowed just a couple of hits, singles to Dominguez and Corporon. Presley hitting .246. Took a nice play by the first baseman to get him. That's Crone, and that came in the second inning.
I guess David Martinez made it, getting loose out there in the Astros bullpen, wearing the number 54, I believe.
Ground ball right side. This one right at Kendrick at second, and out number 1. And again, David Martinez just recalled by the ball club for today's game. Domingo Santana has been sent back down to Oklahoma City. 1 out for Marwin Gonzalez. Other games going on in Colorado. The Dodgers and Rockies going at it. Scoreless in the bottom of the third inning. The Giants lead in San Diego 2-0 in the third. Gonzalez shows bunt, takes a strike. The Oakland A's are hosting the Toronto Blue Jays. A's on top 1-0. They're in the fourth. Oakland A's just keep on winning. And Marwin Gonzalez laces one back up the middle. Gonzalez with a big turn at first base, as it took a while for this ball to get back into the infield. Marwin eventually scurrying back in with a dive to first.
All kinds of excitement. Good piece of hitting. Pretty good bullet. Send that right back to the pitcher. That's what you want to do with a guy throwing about 98. Make him run for cover every once in a while. I think Margot turned himself into a yard sale on that turn.
One out single brings up Corcoran. And that fastball right up over the head of Carlos. And to the backstop into second base on the wild pitch is Marwin Gonzalez. And you wonder, was there anything to this heater?
Well, the wild pitches have been piling up for Garrett Richards. 16 on the season now. He's at least got an excuse. Colin McHugh doesn't, but I'm not sure if there would be any payback to Carlos Corcoran for throwing at Mike Trout. That addition problem doesn't make much sense to me.
You never did like word problems, did you?
I didn't like math, period.
The 1-0.
Word problems were great. I could, diversion tactics all through that. Doesn't mean the answer would be right, but I definitely entertain you.
Yankees lead 9-6 at Minnesota there in the 8th. Yankees have a run in them in this final year for Derek Jeter, you think? 3-0 the count.
I'm not sure.
Yankees are at 543-43. Derek Jeter's hitting .273 and he's 3 for 4 on the afternoon today. So he says, I'm not quite dead yet. There's a strike, 3-1. Richards has walked just one. That was Kike Hernandez in the 3rd inning. Yankees have 14 hits on this afternoon. High chopper over the mound towards second. Coming on Ibar to make the play. Very nice. And he took this ball literally right out of the glove of Kendrick.
Good play. Long way to run for Ibar. Corcoran doesn't run all that well, but the momentum of the shortstop coming across the diamond. I'm sure Howie Kendrick might have made this play also, but just a veteran move by the shortstop Ibar. It's time for the Geico quote of the day. It comes from Nolan Ryan. Said it helps if the hitter thinks you're a little crazy. Makes sense. It also helps if you have a fastball that you might be able to throw through somebody.
Yeah, I think Nolan has something there, as do you. But if a hitter thinks that a pitch could get away from a guy who throws hard, and that could happen at any time, keeps you a little looser at the box. Kike Hernandez at the plate. Half swing, he goes through. Home plate umpire Vanover takes it himself. 0-1 the count.
Be curious to see if those guys like that did have that little bit of a wild hair in them, that had that good heater, if they'd be able to pitch in this era now, knowing that pitchers are, hitters are protected on that inside corner. If you come in there a little too often, umpires get a little wary, start warning everybody.
Do you like the warning? You've played with it probably your whole career.
No, I mean, I understand the purpose of it, and I've seen it used properly from some umpires, but I've also seen it abused by some umpires too. Because somewhere in the game, there's got to be accountability on both sides, and we both know that this game can work itself out if you give the other team an opportunity to retaliate and just get it out of the way. I think sometimes the warning kind of delays that retaliation and lingers for a little bit, as opposed to just getting it done, getting it out of the way, because everybody knows what the process is.
Big swing here by Hernandez. It's 1-2.
I think some of the younger umpires try and take that aspect of the game out of it by warning everybody immediately when they sense that something might be going astray. But I've seen plenty of games where a guy gets drilled, Guy on the other team gets drilled and it's over with. You continue to play the game. But if you have that warning, it lingers until the next time you see those guys.
Pitch in the dirt, and Hank Conger keeps it right there. Marwin Gonzalez came a pretty good distance down the line at third.
Pretty good job by Marwin trying to anticipate this. Ball popped up. It's tough to tell which direction that thing's going. It popped up almost right into the glove of Conger.
Yeah, it used to be a very different game, and we used to hear stories about there was a right-hander by the name of Ryan Duran who wore thick glasses, and his warm-ups in between innings would include a pitch that would be nowhere close to the plate, to the backstop. He'd take his glasses off, wipe them off, try to stare at the plate, squinting, and then put the glasses back on, and the hitter had to come to the plate.
Mad Hungarian.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some good acts that came along with that.
Another pitch in the dirt, and now 3-2 on Kike Hernandez.
That kind of stuff was entertaining.
Yes. Sometimes scary, too. Ryan Duran was one of those hard throwers. There was a belief at one time that the pitcher kind of controlled that area around home plate. It doesn't seem to work that way anymore. Down on strikes, Kike Hernandez gets a piece, but hung on to by Conger. 7 strikeouts now for Garrett Richards. It's 3-0 Halos.
Spot 5. This season at Minute Maid Park, every Friday night home game is followed by spectacular fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. And the next Friday night fireworks will be July 11th after the Astros play the Red Sox. Get your tickets at 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com. Ash.
Thanks, Julia. It's a 3-0 Angels lead. We go to the bottom of the third inning, and now new right-hander David Martinez comes on, a guy who came up with the Astros a year ago and had limited success. Back up as transactions were taking place following last night's game. Second major league stint as we talk about David Martinez. 5-6 at Oklahoma City with a .492 ERA. He'll face the 9-1-2 spots. John McDonald leads it off. Johnny Mack laid down a bunt sacrifice in the third inning and takes a strike. So Colin McHugh, it would appear that he was dealing once again with that blister problem, and it's been quite an issue for him. You anticipate that we don't see him again before The Astros come back following the All-Star break. Try to give that thing a chance to heal completely.
Yeah, I think he's got a good stretch here. You could push him back. But the interesting thing about that All-Star break for everybody around the big leagues is you have a chance to reset your rotation for that second half of the season. And if Colin McHugh is having issues, you can push him back 4 days after that All-Star break.
McDonald grounds out to shortstop to start the 5th inning. The thing about Colin McHugh is when he's pitching right, he's a very valuable guy in this rotation.
No, he's a competitor. Looking at some of his numbers before the game today, he actually does a great job with guys in scoring position. The batting average when guys are on base in scoring position is .073. So he's a competitor.
Look at his overall batting average against numbers at home and on the road. About 6 points apart surrounding the 190 mark. So he's been really good. Leadoff man Cole Calhoun at the plate. He takes a strike. And it appears that he's willing to take 1 or 2 strikes every time he walks to the plate. But what he's done is come up with a couple of base hits today. He's scored a run. He's also been caught stealing. With the 2 hits, Cole Calhoun hitting .297.
Wow.
That's about your...
That was awesome.
55-footer in front of the plate. Cole Calhoun goes out to clean up the mess that ball left.
Yeah, replace your divot. Who that hit? My goodness. Larry Vanover, the receiver of that spiked pitch.
Vanover took a peek out as if to say, where did that thing hit?
Hope he didn't ask him to do it again.
Little looper down the left field side. Dominguez on the move, can't get there. Best one I ever saw. We're catching a guy way back in the mid-70s, Don Hood with the Cleveland Indians, left-hander. And he was really working on trying to get on top of his curveball. And he got on top of one to the tune of about roughly halfway to home plate, about 30 feet toward the plate from the rubber.
You can't let that happen.
And the next day, of course, as you know, the guys would do, they had the spray paint can out there circling where the ball had hit. It was spectacular.
Scene of the crime.
Yep. And now 2-2. Make that 3-2 on Calhoun. Well, there are some pitches that just don't seem to have any real intent.
David's got himself a fastball, 90, 92 miles an hour. Split finger, slider.
Pitch fouled off. If that hitter that works the count and gets a lot of pitches and takes a lot of time is your cup of tea, you would really like Cole Calhoun. He takes one very close outside, draws the walk. It comes with one out and brings up Mike Trout.
Not a bad pitch, just didn't get Cole Calhoun to chase that one.
Third walk issued now by Houston pitching. Mike Trout, after a nice start to the series, has seen things cool off. Hitless since that game-winning walk-off home run in Game 2. And takes a strike. Colin McHugh winds up working 4 innings, allowing 3 runs, 2 of them earned. A couple of walks and 4 strikeouts. Just 70 pitches on the afternoon for Colin. Line shot into right center field. The slump is over. Base hit for Trout. Digging for third is Calhoun. He'll make it as the throw is cut off. Runners at the corners. 1 out for Albert Pujols.
Good hitter. He gets on top of this fastball. Shoots it the other way. imagine a guy like Trout slumping for too long.
No. He was hitting .307 going into that at bat. He's so solid at going the other way and back up the middle. He's just not going to slump long, you wouldn't think.
Well, and he's going to make the adjustments. He can be beat up top, but you got to set it up still. And if he's anticipating it, as most hitters at the big league level, if they're anticipating it, they can get those hands up, get on top. And I think when he does get on top, he does a good job of driving the ball the other way.
Albert Pujols has walked and singled. That single in the third inning, plated a pair. Martinez trying to come into Corcoran, throws it away. Third hitter in this Angels lineup. Swings through it. It's a ball and a strike. Might surprise you, Albert Pujols, an on-base percentage of just .320, so he's below the league average. Hits one high in the air down the right side, foul territory. Coming over Singleton and just doesn't quite get in the spot where he might be able to reach in and make a play.
That sun's terrible. Judging by the shadows, it's either right on top of us or right below us. So as soon as anybody in the infield and outfield looks up, they're staring right into it.
One and two the count on Albert. Just put up phenomenal numbers through the years against Houston pitching as he grounds one foul. Pujols steps back. And now that imposing figure at the plate for David Martinez. Right off the end of the bat. Fairly similar to the base hit that he came up with in the third, where he just reached out, didn't sting it, but lined one into left field to drive in a pair. Three hits in each of the last two games for Albert. And now down on strikes is Pujols. David Martinez gets a big one. That's two down here in the fifth. Runners still at first and third for Josh Hamilton.
Not sure what pitch that was. It might have been a breaking ball up, but for Albert, who's probably barely ever faced David Martinez, it's tough to figure out what that pitch is supposed to do. And when you see a split finger back up like that and not do what it's supposed to do, you're going to see a swing similar to what you saw Albert Pujols put on it.
Josh Hamilton is 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and grounded into a fielder's choice. Has seen that batting average dip below 300 now. And the count at 0-1. Hamilton started this series hitting .313. Had a couple of hits in game two. That's been it. Half swing. They will appeal to third, and they'll get their appeal. It's 0-2 on Hamilton.
Almost looked like body language got this call on Josh Hamilton. Clearly broke that plane. He was fully deflated after that check swing.
Breaking ball nowhere close. 1-2 the count. Just 5 home runs on the year for Hamilton. Former MVP, and the numbers don't appear to be anywhere close to what he was once able to put up. It's a 1-2 count on Josh Hamilton, and David Martinez is stepping off and checking Mike Trout at first. Trout could be on the move. He has stolen 10 in 10 tries. And waving through the off-speed pitches, Hamilton, a couple of strikeouts, big ones of Pujols and Hamilton for David Martinez. Unscathed in the fifth, it's 3-0 Angels. Rewind, and we're talking Garrett Richards now, big right-hand pitcher for the Angels. He has been quite spectacular with 7 strikeouts.
Showing great command of the fastball, setting up breaking ball when he needs it. But for the most part, it's just been absolute petrol from the big right-hander for the Los Angeles Angels. High strikeout guy against a high strikeout team in the Houston Astros. That explains 7 strikeouts in 5 innings for Garrett.
Jose Altuve is 0 for 2 on the day, has not struck out but has grounded into a double play. And that was key in the 3rd inning. It was a scoreless game. The Astros had the first 2 hitters aboard, Corporon and Hernandez. Altuve then grounded into that double play. Jose now hitting .336. Started the day with a 3-point lead in the batting race. Lines one to center field. There it is. Break it up again now for Jose Altuve. He was 0 for his last 13 before this knock.
Little man can get on top of a fastball. 122nd hit on the season, team record for most hits before the All-Star break. Wow.
Bob Watson could hit, and I can guarantee you there were not many infield hits amongst those 123.
Jeez.
Jason Castro at the plate. And that's a strike. Castro has struck out in line to left field. 0 for 2, a .226 batting average for Jason. And now the count at 0-2. Castro barreled it up pretty well, but well laid on this fastball. George Springer waiting on deck. 3-0 Angels. Been a while since we've seen Altuve try to steal a bag. Altuve held on by Crone at first. Very short lead. And that breaking ball misses. You may remember Altuve was putting up a string of consecutive games stealing bags, consecutive games with multiple steals. His last stolen base came on June 30th, that against Seattle. And that was the first of 3 in that recent series with the Mariners. So it's been a bit of a dry spell. Off speed, got him on strikes. Second time for Castro on the day. That's 8 now for Richards. And let's check in with Julia.
Thank you, Ash. Create memories, have fun, and enjoy a premium experience with an Astros luxury suite at Minute Maid Park. Let us create an experience your group won't forget. Call the Astros premium ticket line at 1-8779-ASTROS. Reserve your luxury suite today.
Thanks a lot, Julia. What's your experience down in the heat?
It's hot. Don't give away my secrets. I'm hiding right now.
There are no secrets. Julia Morales always grinding, and we appreciate her efforts. Stay cool. George Springer at the plate. A couple of strikeouts today for George. Altuve still with 37 bags at first. Pretty amazing number, just 3 times caught stealing. Springer starts the bat. It's a ball and a strike. Good hitting background here at the Big A. But when you've got Garrett Richards out there bringing the heat and throwing the slider and curveball, he's got everything to go with it. Still a very tough day. That hit by Altuve, just the 3rd of the afternoon. Make that 4th for the Astros. Springer homered in Game 2 here in the series. And that his last hit of the series. Altuve goes. The pitch swung on and missed. The throw almost hits Garrett Richards. And not in time. Stolen base number 38 for Jose Altuve. And Hank Conger almost took out his right-hander.
Good jump, good pitch to run on. With that throw almost hitting Garrett Richards, Mike Scioscia popped out of the dugout wondering if that backswing from Springer caused that. That would have been the play of the game for the Houston Astros if Conger drills Garrett Richards right in the back.
Have to take him off the field, and yeah. Breaking ball is tapped foul.
There's been rumors of Conger maybe having issues with throwing.
Well, you could see that Garrett Richards was primed and ready for the possibilities.
Yeah, big guy got small real quick.
And he was covering up, too. Wonder if that might not leave the Astros considering the running game a bit. Of course, you've got to get men on base to run. 2-2 the count.
And that's been problematic this afternoon. It's tough to get my time of day messed up when the sun's blaring down on the stadium right now. Apologize.
This evening is when you will be cooling off, and
yeah, it's going to be nap time.
Oh, you can't nap when you're having a good time?
No, I can.
Full count now on George Springer.
Self-induced.
Most of the folks here in Anaheim have found some shade.
It's actually pretty impressive how much sunlight is on the stands here at this ballpark, actually.
And how many people actually
still
inhabit those seats.
I mean, there was no relief out in the outfield bleachers.
Slider got him looking. Third time down on strikes today for George Springer. That's 9 for Richards. 2 outs here in the 6th.
Steady diet of sliders for George Springer. Really no heaters of any kind to speak of that he had a chance to swing at. Just a pretty good paint job on that outside corner.
So with 2 outs, John Singleton stands in, and he, like Springer, has struck out his first couple of at-bats. They have accounted for 5 of the 9 strikeouts now for Garrett Richards. Astros need to find a way to get on the board here in the 6th inning and get back in this game. A little waving swing on the breaking ball. 0-1 the count. That looked like Singleton just gearing up for a fastball and try to drive it. And the batting average for Singleton now down to 171. He's been impressive when he gets a hold of it. There's no question about it. Oh, 0-2 the count. And you talked about it, Blummer. The Astros have struck out more than any other club in the league. And Garrett Richards looks like a guy who really should have more than a strikeout per inning. And so he's maybe trying to recoup things here this afternoon. Singleton has struck out 6. Well, let's see. Let's make it 8 times in the series. Down on strikes, 3 straight picked up by Richards as he gets Castro, Springer, and Singleton. It's 3-0 Angels.
And as promised earlier, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. Make sure to tweet your photos to CSNH fan photo for a chance to have it shown. This is today's, though. Joseph tweets this little, look at this little guy. Love that one. Make sure to tweet those photos, CSNH fan photo, for a chance to be shown in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by AT&T.
Thank you, Julia. It's 3-0 Angels. We go to the Angels half of the 6th inning. Eric Ibar leads off. And an 0-1 count with David Martinez on the hill. His first outing here in the big leagues with the Astros this year. We mentioned that strikeout of John Singleton, the 10th on the afternoon for Garrett Richards. That matches his career high. Set that back on June 14th of last year at Atlanta.
You know, the picture was cute, Julia, but did you see what was going on in the background? You got a buddy in town?
Buddy or my brother.
He was getting his groove on, huh?
Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Nice work. He learned those moves from me.
Is that really your brother?
That really is my brother. That's
You're going to claim that?
Oh, maybe not anymore.
And you want to claim that he learned those moves from
Oh,
you?
man.
No, take it back. He really does. He lives out here. That really is. He's probably texting me right now.
Oh, man.
Little pop-up left side. That'll be back in the seats. Counted 2-2.
So it's some pretty special training in the Morales household.
I didn't hear that he's a professional dancer, did I?
He is.
Really?
He dances
Obviously.
out here in LA, and I mean.
What was I thinking?
What gave it away, Ash?
I don't know.
As funny as this is, he really is a dancer out here in LA.
So the standards are different?
No one's going to believe us. Oh, he's done some music videos, a lot of hip hop, but that's Jesse. Little bro.
Nice.
3-2 pitch, grounded left side. Marwin glides to his left. He'll make the play. Out number 1 in the 6th. Angels picked up all of their runs in the 3rd inning. They had 3 hits in that frame. There was a sac bunt. There was a hit batter. Big blow on Albert Pujols' 2-run single. And there was also a throwing error by Jose Altuve. That led to the unearned run of the afternoon. Howie Kendrick at the plate. Grounded out sharply to short and then drew a walk. Well, that fastball just sailing right up under the chin of Howie Kendrick. We've seen some fastballs get away this afternoon.
That's the second time it's happened to Howie, too. My goodness. Wow. Anytime you get up and near somebody's face.
Man, that is just so dangerous.
Not good.
There's a strike. It's 1-2. How do you deal with that pitch painted down and away after getting the chin music?
Well, how do you go from firing one up around his nose to painting the outside black?
We got word confirmed that Colin McHugh had to come out because of that blister. And he's been dealing with that now for what, a month, 5-6 weeks?
Yeah, it was June 3rd when we first started hearing about it.
Howie Kendrick down on strikes. Well, that's a rare sight in this series. He has been a red-hot hitter. 2 down in the 6th. That brings up C.J. Cron.
He's having flashbacks of that one up around his neck.
Angels have just 5 hits on the afternoon, but they piled them together along with a miscue and a hit batter in the 3rd inning. And Garrett Richards is just sailing along, and he's been dominant, overpowering. But really nothing new for Garrett Richards.
Except for the fact he's going for a career high in strikeouts.
You know, that's going to happen, I would think, with his arm. It's 1-2 now.
Well, it's kind of consistent with what he's been doing over his last 6 starts.
Ground ball left side, 2 big hops for Matt Dominguez. He'll make the play. And a 1-2-3 6th inning turned in by David Martinez. To the 7th we go. 3-0. Angels on top.
0 runs. The Angels have 3. Kids can join all the Astros fun this season with an Astros Buddies Kids Club membership. Catch all the baseball action plus exclusive experiences and prizes throughout the season. Visit astros.com/buddies to register today.
Garrett Richards just getting in his final warm-up tosses. It's deal with the sun and the heat day here in Anaheim.
You know what I remember about being a kid is I never worried about the weather.
No?
If I was going outside no matter what. You know, those kids are having the time of their life here.
Did you go to ball games when you were that age?
Yeah, I was here at Anaheim, out in L.A., go down to San Diego every once in a while. I wasn't nearly as close as those kids were. I was up in the upper regions of stadiums.
Did you go to the Murph in San Diego back in those days, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a much better stadium in the stands than it was underneath.
Yeah, underneath is kind of dank and nasty.
Oh, man, you could get decapitated in a heartbeat, too, trying to run underneath there.
We're in the 7th inning, 3-0 Halos. Matt Dominguez leads it off, 1 for 2. Hits it on the ground left side, coming on to make the play and taking that second hop is Ibar, out number 1. Alex Presley comes to the plate, 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts. Presley, 4 homers on his year. Yeah, while we're talking about it with you going out to the games as a kid, when did you first come up with that feeling that said, you know what, I'd love to play this game for a living?
I don't know if I ever actually had that thought. I mean, I thought it was a dream. Obviously, I mean, I wanted to.
Ground ball inside first and down the line. Alex Presley has extra bases. He'll dig for second and stop there with a slide. A 1-out double for Alex Presley.
Nice piece of hitting by Alex.
Double number 5 for Alex.
Turning on that. Sneaking it past C.J. Cron. Once it gets past him, that's an easy double for Alex.
You know, Alex runs quite well.
You know, growing up and playing the sport of baseball and watching it, I enjoyed all sports. I played soccer, I played basketball, but I just truly had a blast playing sports. I don't think that I ever really, I thought it would be awfully cool, but I never really thought that it would become a reality.
That double by Presley, hit number 5 on the afternoon for the Astros. They've matched the Angels in that category, but still trying to get on the board against very tough right-hander Garrett Richards. Marwin Gonzalez has one of the hits. He scorched one back up the middle in the 5th inning, right on by Richards. Good breaking ball. When you were that teenage kid, did you have a particular sport that stood out for you?
I was pretty good at basketball in high school, but I eventually got the ultimatum from the basketball coach. He said, you got to pick one sport.
1-2 the count.
I don't think he appreciated me, you know, splitting time between basketball and baseball, and being 6'3" and realizing everybody in the NBA was about 6'7" or taller and a heck of a lot faster than I was.
So you were that small shooting guard.
Yeah, I'd run around and pester guys launching threes.
And Marwin Gonzalez down on strikes, and now a career high for Garrett Richards. 11 punch outs on the afternoon, 2 down here in the 7th. I used to play me some basketball with Gary Maddox, who wound up being the great center fielder for the Philadelphia Phillies, and we had some good times together.
Did you guys go to school together? Is that?
Yeah.
Nice.
Even played Pony League on the same team. Gary was not happy that he was pushed out a shortstop at the time and moved to the outfield. It kind of turned out well for him.
Yeah, I grew up playing baseball on the same team as Mike Sweeney, first baseman for the Kansas City Royals.
High school ball?
All the way up until high school. We were actually in different districts, so he went to Ontario High School. I ended up going to Chino High.
Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, now coming out to the mound. Maybe trying to figure out how his big right-hander has managed the 11 strikeouts so he can tell the rest of the pitching staff.
He's out there right now going, man, you're really nasty today. I wanted to just give you a breather. Next pitch is going to be 100.
Still nobody throwing in the Angels' pen. So if Richards gets an out here to finish the 7th inning and gets it quickly, might he be on for the 8th? In a 3-0 game, I wouldn't be surprised if he runs back out there.
Definitely earned the right. You just worry about the conditions, maybe a little hot.
Carlos Corporon had a base hit that came in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Kike Hernandez caught that little chopper and fed it to a fan. He's already figured out how to become a hero.
Gotta be nice to those road fans.
Get them off your case when you're in the on-deck circle.
Well, that's the thing. On the on-deck circle, they're nice to you. You step in the box and they start airing you out again.
Where was the toughest ballpark for you with the visiting
Philadelphia.
fan? Yeah.
Oh man.
Philly fan was tough.
Philly fans were intense. San Francisco's a close second, but they were very entertaining in San Francisco.
Tell you what was tough about San Francisco back in the day when they didn't draw anything at Candlestick was that there were 12 people sitting up there and you could hear every one.
It's almost worse when the crowds are small because you can hear every word that's said in the stands. Get these big crowds, it kind of drowns itself out.
The 1-1, and Carlos offers on that tough breaking ball. That has been tough all day long.
That did not look like a fun swing at all. Some people came prepared. Yeah, a little bit better game plans than most.
Real test of the endurance for the pitching today. Garrett Richards proving to be easily up to the task. 1-2 the count. Comes with that backdoor breaking ball. All 3 runs coming in the 3rd inning for the Angels. And Albert Pujols with the big swing of the afternoon. 2-run single. The 2-2. Lined into right field. Solid base hit. Here comes Presley to the plate. The throw is cut off. And the Astros have gotten on the board. RBI single Carlos Corporon. His 2nd hit of the afternoon. It's now 3-1. Angels lead it.
What a piece of hitting. What an at bat. Carlos Corporon takes a horrific swing on that slider down and in. Able to wipe that one away from the memory bank. Keep his wits about him and have himself a solid at bat. Pretty much the same pitch that he did swing over the top of and missed badly. This one he stays on and hits a rocket into right. Alex Presley scores easily. Astros on the board.
14 RBIs now for Corporon. He's aboard. 2 outs for Kike Hernandez. Fastball still at 95-96 here in the 7th inning. 105 pitches in, and now the Angels bullpen is going to get loose. They've got a righty and lefty twirling.
Looks like it might be Joe Thatcher, the left-hander out there, just acquired from the Diamondbacks, and right-handed pitcher Mike Morin.
Second strike is called. 0-2 on Kike Hernandez, who has walked and struck out.
97 in the outside corner.
Jose Altuve, Matt Dominguez, Alex Presley. They're the only ones, along with Carlos Corporon, who haven't struck out today. Pitch hit in the air to center field. Trout has a beat on it. He'll make the catch. That'll do it for Houston. They get a run on a pair of hits and leave a man, and have made it a close game. It's 3-1. The Angels lead it, and now here in the 7th inning, we'll stay on for God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps. Prior to singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game, please join Jill Burke in singing God Bless America.
All right. Back in Anaheim, it's a 3-1 Angels lead as the Astros get on the board in the top of the 7th inning. RBI single by Carlos Corporon. And now David Martinez set for a 3rd inning of work. He'll face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. We take a look at some of the guys on the minor league level and the great work they're putting in.
Tommy Shirley, the left-handed pitcher, promoted to Oklahoma City. Double-A, I believe, probably 7-3, 1.88 ERA. Nice 9th-round pick in 2010. Giovanni Meyer getting called up to Oklahoma City. Rumor has it that Jonathan Villar might be suffering from an ankle injury. Giovanni getting a chance to get called up, possibly replace Jonathan Villar. He was a 21st pick back in 2009.
216 batting average there, so a lot of work to be done, but going to the PCL might help that a bit. Hank Conger stands in, and immediately getting ahead is David Martinez. Martinez allowed a hit and a walk in his 1st inning. That was the 5th, but then got through with a couple of strikeouts, getting Albert Pujols and Josh Hamilton. Then a 1-2-3 6th inning, also striking out Howie Kendrick. So quite impressive to this point for David Martinez. It's a ball and a strike. Conger on the day has singled and scored in the 3rd inning, and then grounded into a double play. 1-6-3. That started by Colin McHugh in the 4th. And that was the last batter that McHugh would face. That blister flared up once again. And you hope that somehow between now and when the Astros come back from the All-Star break that blister can be healed up. The Astros need Colin McHugh in that starting rotation. Pitch has popped up on the infield. It's John Singleton battling the sun and doing a real nice job with it, utilizing the glove as he gets the out.
Well, it's pretty good technique. Got to find that angle. That's tough to do. Once you find it, keep that glove in there. That high sun, it's tough to keep the glove up in front of your face, being able to shade it and still keep an eye on the ball.
Yeah, you can see that shadow on the face. He just executed that perfectly. One out for John McDonald. McDonald 0 for 1 on the day. Hitting .222. Utility infielder. And he can get it done with the glove with the best of them. Has a 1-2 count. McDonald having a little conversation with Larry Vanover. Don't know what this might be about.
I think they're talking about the count.
2-1 the count, not 1-2, so the scoreboard had to be changed. At bat starts. Did he go through? No, says the first base umpire. Paul Nauert. Three and 1 now on John McDonald. Three runs in the third for the Angels. The Astros picking up their run in the top of this 7th inning. Carlos Corporon, his second knock of the afternoon, that drove in the only run. A little pop fly in shallow left center. Taking charge is Alex Presley. He'll make the catch. 2 down here in the inning. Back to the top with Cole Calhoun. He's reached all 3 plate appearances, a couple of singles. He's also drawn a walk. He scored a run. Was caught stealing way back in the first inning. Perfect throw by Carlos Corporon. It's a guy, for me, I wouldn't want to miss early in the count. Just throw some strikes because he appears to be geared to take it all the way to a couple of strikes. He has it at 2-0. The Oakland A's continue to lead the American League in runs per game, right at 5. The Angels right behind him. And the Angels could be in a position to take that top spot at any point. 2-1 the count. Tigers and Blue Jays right behind those clubs. The Astros dead last. Just above the Astros, the Red Sox and Rays, and the Yankees in that surprising spot. Start the year coming out of spring training, and you find out at the All-Star break that the Yankees and Red Sox would be in the bottom 4 teams in scoring runs per game. Has to be a surprise. A drive right field. This one's going to get out of here. Cole Calhoun just keeps on swinging it. His 3rd hit of the afternoon, and for Calhoun, his 9th long ball of the year. 22nd RBI. He extends that lead 4-1.
Up until that pitch, David Martinez pitching himself quite well, but some of those fans out there in the bleachers getting rewarded with the Calhoun souvenir, hanging out in that sun-soaked bleacher.
So he works that count deep and eventually unloads on it. He has reached all 4 plate appearances today. Mike Trout stands in. He's been hit by a pitch and singled in 3 plate appearances on the day, so 1 for 2 for Mike. Hitting .309. Perfectly placed strike. It's 1-1. Doug, batting average for a team in the American League, the Angels are third. Pop foul back to the seats. The Tigers, Orioles, and Angels lead in that batting average category. And the Astros are in 15th. That's dead last in the league. Just above them, the Boston Red Sox. Trout swings through it. And now the formality of throwing down to first base. That'll do it for the Angels on the strikeout of Mike Trout, his second of the afternoon. We have played 7 today. USAA members. USAA would like to pay special recognition to all of our service members at home and abroad.
In Anaheim, it's 4-1 Angels over the Astros. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Astros.com for details. Guys.
Thank you, Julia. Top of the order for the Astros here in the 8th inning. Jose Altuve, Jason Castro, and George Springer. Garrett Richards still out to work this 8th inning. He has struck out a career high 11 on the day. And the Astros only getting to him in the 7th inning. Alex Presley had a 1-out double. And an out later, Carlos Corporon lined one into right field to plate the run. Angels come right back and respond on a home run from Cole Calhoun. 4-1. Fly ball to center field. So Altuve is now 1 for 4 on the afternoon. Also picking up a stolen base, his 38th. That's going to do it for Garrett Richards. Mike Scioscia, the skipper, coming out. And he's going to bring on his left-hander from the bullpen.
Garrett Richards been a real workhorse for Mike Scioscia. Last 3 outings, 119 pitches, 113 pitches, 115 pitches, and 110 here on the afternoon here in Anaheim. And the fans here in Anaheim are showing their appreciation for a job well done for Garrett Richards. Got himself a career high 11 strikeouts on the afternoon.
Terrific job by Garrett Richards. And again, a guy headed toward the All-Star game, no doubt. The Angels leading at 4-1. We'll be right back.
Be sure to join us tomorrow for the opener of a 3-game set as the Astros take on the Rangers in Arlington, Texas. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet, your home of your home teams.
Left-hander Joe Thatcher comes in. His first outing now with the Angels, acquired from Arizona just yesterday. Appeared in 37 games with the Diamondbacks, a 1-0 record and a 2.63 ERA. He'll pick it up against the left-hand hitting Jason Castro. Castro 0 for 3 on the day, a couple of strikeouts mixed in, and now lines one to center. So go ahead and bring on that left-hander. Jason Castro's hitting the lefties well this year. He's 1 for 4. Aboard with 1 out for George Springer.
Yeah, it's beyond explanation. Angels needed that left-on-left matchup guy in Joe Thatcher, who puts up pretty good numbers and proves to be tough. But the way Castro's been hitting lefties all year, smokes one up the middle, and that's going to bring Mike Scioscia out again.
So that's enough. Way to go, lefty. They'll bring on a right-hander now to face George Springer. Mike Scioscia getting in some work with the bullpen. He got a great day of starting work from Garrett Richards. 7 1/3 innings, and just as good as you'll see. And as the right-hander comes on now, we will break it once again. Again, who's hot, who's not? Tell us, Plummer.
Well, I'm going to focus on the bottom part of that region on who's not. Alfonso Soriano has been designated for assignment. It's tough times up in New York. John Neese, he's placed on the DL. And you're reading that right. The notes say that he has lost his stuff. Not sure what stuff he's lost.
That happened on a road trip?
But I hate it when I lose my stuff and I got to go searching for it. Maybe they came through customs and just didn't make the trip.
Rick Porcello's been kind of good. Mike Moore now comes in for these Angels. 23-year-old right-hander. We have seen him in the series already. And now in his 30th game of the year for the Halos. George Springer comes to the plate, 0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs. All of that against Garrett Richards. Richards with a career day, 11 strikeouts.
Marin's going to bring you a fastball, slider, changeup. Saw that first pitch slider to George Springer. He's been seeing a steady diet of them all day long.
0-2 the count.
That might be why.
Time to go back up the middle, maybe right center field. Oh, and 2 on Springer. At batting average now at .236. His strike 3 called. Just spotted down and away. Springer has struck out 4 times on the afternoon. That's 2 down in the 8th inning. Brings up John Singleton.
Yeah, that's just Pablo Picasso there on the outside corner. You tip your cap to the pitcher for making a pitch right there in an 0-2 count. You kind of hope it's off the plate. Might have been a little bit. But we've seen Larry Vanover given a couple inches off that outside corner.
12 strikeouts of Houston hitters. John Singleton has struck out 3 times in 3 plate appearances. 0 for his last 9. Garrett Richards pushes his ERA to 2.71 now. Had a great first half of the season. 2-0 the count. We mentioned that John Singleton is from just down the road, Long Beach, closer to LA than Anaheim, but he's had his family and friends out here in the series. Takes a strike. It's 2-1.
Have you seen your scorecard yet and looked at what the 3-4 hitters have done for the Houston Astros?
It's a perfect afternoon.
It's pretty incredible, to be honest with you.
3-1 the count now on Singleton. 7 strikeouts in the 7 at bats between Springer and Singleton. Yeah, it makes it tough on the offense being able to put anything together. Big swing and a pop-up on the infield. Out near the mound, Conger throws the mask and now crashes into his.
Oh, did you see that?
And what a play by the pitcher. Morin gets in and takes this little double tip flip and makes a great play.
Johnny on the spot right there, Mike Morin.
The 3rd inning, Angels at the plate. In fact, Albert Pujols at the plate. Bases loaded as he takes a tough slider down and away, lines it into left field, and the Angels take a 2-0 lead at the time. They would add 1 more in the inning. But a big swing by Albert Pujols once again. 7 ribbies in the series.
Doesn't take much sometimes. Seen a couple bombs last night. Today it's just a nice easy line drive out the left field for a couple of RBIs to stick that dagger early through the Houston Astros.
Right-hander Chad Qualls will come on now to work it in the 8th inning. Chad has not been getting much closer's work here recently. The Astros have lost 6 straight, and so you got to keep that closer sharp.
Look at his numbers on the season. 33rd appearance, Even record at 1-1. Nice, beautiful low ERA under 2. Good whip. 29 1/3 innings, 27 strikeouts, only 3 walks. Doing a great job with that sinker and that slider combination.
Qualls will face the 3, 4, 5 spots for the Angels. Albert Pujols leads off. He's 1 for 2, had that single in the 3rd that we just saw. Also has drawn a walk and struck out. David Martinez struck him out in the 5th inning. And left a splitter up, and Pujols swung right through it. 19 homers on the year for Albert. So when it's all said and done, Pujols has a chance of putting up some pretty good numbers once again. Batting average doesn't seem to be quite the same as he once had, but he could approach 40 home runs. 0-1 the count. Qualls brings it. And a line drive on a hop past Altuve. And Altuve may not have seen the baseball for a while as it went by Qualls.
Day games are tough. You get a lot of glare. There are green seats here at Anaheim Stadium. And you do have the shades on, but sometimes it kind of gets lost in all the human beings in front of you.
Second hit of the afternoon for Albert Pujols, and he's had a strong series. Now with 9 hits in the series. We mentioned the 7 ribbies. Brings up the cleanup man, Josh Hamilton. Still a tight ball game, 4-1 here in the 8th inning. No doubt Mike Scioscia would like to add some more tallies. Cole Porter would like to keep it right here as Qualls brings the strike. Ball and a strike. It's quite a play we saw to end the top of this inning. That pop fly hit by John Singleton that, not sure, did that touch 3 gloves? I know it touched Congers.
Good chance. There was enough bodies around it.
An early jump by Pujols, who has second base stolen easy, or does he? A snap throw from the knees by Carlos Corporon as he gets him. Albert Pujols took off a full second or so before Qualls ever delivered the pitch.
Corporon went Benito Santiago behind home plate, gunned him down.
Look at this jump starting.
The hesitation.
Yep. And right on the money. Carlos has thrown out 2 trying to steal today. The other being Cole Calhoun back in the 1st inning. So that's out number 1. Nobody aboard for Hamilton. I would have thought as that play started out, just go ahead and eat it. You've got no chance. Well, there have been some pitches that have gotten away today.
Sure have.
Hamilton with an 0 for 3 afternoon, a couple of strikeouts, hitting .295. Count fills at 3-2. Each club with 7 hits on the afternoon. The Astros have left 6 base runners. The Angels just 4. So they have maximized their opportunities. Picked up 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 7th. Albert Pujols trying to run him into position to score here in the 8th as Hamilton takes a close pitch for ball 4.
Just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. That was a gnarly play to end the top of the inning. High pop fly. Conger drifting well into the secondary. Knocks off his glove, and you can see the catcher Marin kneeled down back there, ready to lay out and save himself in that inning. Sometimes all you got to do is be in the right place at the right time, and the way things are going for the Los Angeles Angels kind of expected that play to be made, didn't you?
Very alert by Mike Moran, no doubt.
I just couldn't believe Conger was backpedaling that far into the middle of the diamond.
Now, I thought for the pass to be completed, a defensive player had to touch it in between there.
I might have seen the flag, you know. C.J. Cron got in there kind of early.
0-1 the count on Eric Ibar. And there goes Hamilton. Pitch is grounded through the hole on the left side. Marwin Gonzalez was covering at the bag at second and taking perfect advantage. Eric Ibar, his first hit of the afternoon. Runners at first and third now with one out. Howie Kendrick's coming to the plate.
It was a thing of beauty right there. Good pitch to run on. Good pitch to hit on a hit and run. Sinker from Chad Qualls keeps the ball down. All you got to do is shoot a ground ball in that shortstop position where Marwin Gonzalez is vacated. Very well executed.
So the Angels trying to tack on more here in the eighth inning. Six-hitter Howie Kendrick at the plate. 0 for 2 on the day. Has drawn a walk. Comes in with a 5-game hitting streak. Qualls gets ahead. Angels trying to sweep this 4-game series. And it's been a tough run for the Astros. Qualls turns and throws to first. The Dodgers lead at Colorado 5-0 in the 6th. The Giants on top of the Padres in San Diego, 7th inning. That's 3-1 Giants. The Oakland A's continue to play winning baseball, leading the Blue Jays in the 7th inning 3-1. They're in the 12th inning now in Boston. Red Sox trailing the Orioles 7-6. Runner from first goes. A swing and a miss. The throw down into center field. And a run will score. Moving into third is Eric Ibar, who picked up the stolen base. It's now a 5-1 Angels lead. That'll be a stolen base and an E2. So Ibar gets the bag. Infield will draw in now. Runner at third base, still one out, a run in. And an 0-2 count on Howie Kendrick. Spoiled fouling it down the right side. That throw from Corcoran just appeared to tail a bit at the end on that first base side, and with the shortstop Marwin Gonzalez at the bag, he got tied up with the runner coming in.
Yeah, it's tough to make a catch and avoid contact at the same time.
Infield drawn in. Ground ball to short. Marwin comes to the plate, but a very poor throw and the run scores. Just make a decent throw to Corcoran. You've got the out at the plate. Instead, the Angels had another and now lead 6-1. And still just one out. So a tough inning for Chad Qualls.
One out, runner on third. You're usually told to go on contact. That's what the play consisted of. Kendrick hit that ball pretty well. I thought Margot had plenty of time to make a strong throw home and get Ibar. He just squared up. He just yanked it. Actually got himself in pretty good position to make that throw home.
It's a fielder's choice, an RBI for Howie Kendrick.
Credit to Corcoran for knocking that down, too.
Though the Angels are playing very well, you have to say the Astros are just not getting it done right now.
Nothing going right.
For Howie Kendrick, RBI number 39. Let's check in with Julia, see what's going on.
Hey, Ash. Well, earlier in the game we asked a Twitter question. We got some great answers back. Which Astros do you think will make the All-Star team? They're being announced very shortly. Jacob Milwee says Springer because he can hit those dingers, and Altuve because, well, come on, do I need to explain? Also, Texan fan 2785, Altuve has been very consistent 50-50 on Keuchel because of his recent outings, and Springer has an outside shot. Thanks for tweeting us. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Julian. The Astros with Bo Porter out to the mound are going to go to the bullpen once again. Chad Qualls gets some work in as he faces 4 hitters in the 8th inning. And so they will go to the bullpen once again. And we break it right here, 6-1. Angels lead it. Still just 1 out as the Angels have put a pair on the board here in the inning. Some sloppy defense from Houston as now Anthony Bass comes on, pitcher number 4 of the afternoon for the Stros.
Anthony was a part of that big inning yesterday for the Houston Astros bullpen. See that ERA inflated quite a bit. 5 home runs allowed in those 20 1/3 innings. Allowed 4 earned runs in 2/3 of an inning.
So it's a 6-1 game now. The Astros bullpen starts the day last in the league in ERA, and with that rough day yesterday that Blummer just mentioned, the ERA jumped from just under the 5 mark to almost 5 1/4. When you look at the strong bullpens in the league, it's Seattle, Oakland, and Cleveland at the top. C.J. Cron at the plate. He's the 7-hitter, 0 for 3 on the day. Ground ball left side. 2 hops for Matt Dominguez. On to Altuve and back to first. They get the double play. 5-4-3. 1 pitch turned in by Anthony Bass to get it done. The Angels pick up a pair in the 8th inning. We go to the 9th. 6-1 Halos. Sportsnet is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. We're at the Big A. It's 6-1. The Angels lead over the Astros. Last chance. Ninth inning for Houston. 5, 6, 7 coming up. Matt Dominguez, Alex Presley, and Marwin Gonzalez. And they'll do it against a new right-hander for the Halos.
It'll be Fernando Salas. Same forward as it is backwards. 29th appearance, 4-0 on the season, 2.96 ERA. It's going to bring a fastball, slider, and changeup at you. Left-handed hitters having an extremely tough time hitting 179 off of Fernando.
Salas, the fourth pitcher of the afternoon for the Halos, where they really got it done with a great effort from Garrett Richards. 7 in the third inning, striking out 11 and allowing 1 run. Carlos Corporon picked up that run with a base hit, and it was a 2-out hit. That came in the 7th inning. First pitch from Salas in for a strike. It's been Richards, Thatcher, Morin, and now Salas. Dominguez lines it foul on the first base side.
Stay tuned for Astros postgame live, presented by Jack in the Box.
Three in the third, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th for the Angels. The Astros only run in the 7th. And Matt Dominguez scalds it, but right at Kendrick at second. Out number 1 here in the 9th.
Man, good swing by Matty D. Do everything right and get nothing for it.
And then you can have those at bats where you just squib a ball and you get your hits. Tough game. Alex Presley at the plate, 1 for 3, had a double in the 7th and scored that lone Houston run. One and 0 the count. Presley now hitting .249. For Colin McHugh, the 4 innings today, 2 earned runs against him. The ERA at 3.28, so still not bad at all, but he needs to get that blister healed up. A ball and a strike on Presley. Marwin Gonzalez waits on deck. Marwin got the start at shortstop today with Kike Hernandez moving back to left field. It'll be interesting to see how that is juggled in upcoming games. 1 and 2 now on Presley. Been a hot sunny day here at the ballpark. A lot of fans have gutted it out in the sun. Most of the folks have gotten up into the shady areas. Ball hit sharply, backhanded by Kendrick. He'll make the play, and 2 down here in the 9th. That'll bring up Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin is 1 for 3, a couple of strikeouts in between. Scorched one into center field for a base hit. So the Astros down to an out to try to pick up a win in this 4-game series. If they fail to do it, it'll be 7 consecutive losses for the club. It's been a rough stretch. Salas to the plate. It's a ball and a strike. The Astros have lost 15 of their last 19. That's when the Tampa Bay Rays stepped in, and just suddenly things went wrong.
Yeah, that was an interesting series. Playing so well, going in hopefully to beat up on a Tampa Bay Rays team that might be reeling, but they turned the tables on the Houston Astros and put them into quite the funk.
Rays had the worst record in the league at that point. Salas just misses away. It's 2-2. Most of the Angels fans on their feet here as they anticipate that final out. And now 3-2 on Marwin. Carlos Corcoran waits on deck. And Carlos, the only member of the Astros lineup with a couple of hits on the afternoon. Salas brings the 3-2, and it's popped up left side. This should do it. The shortstop Ibar makes the play in fair territory, and a 1-2-3 ninth inning for the Astros. So the Astros come into Anaheim, lose 4 straight to the red-hot Angels now, who are pursuing the Oakland A's. The Astros have lost 7 in a row and 16 of 20, and need, as they head on to Arlington, Texas, to play the Texas Rangers to get themselves hot once again. That final this afternoon, 6-1. Angels win it.